The original lecture, expertly presented by Dr. Ahmed El-Shayer, stands as a testament to his exceptional dedication and expertise. Dr. El-Shayer is an esteemed associate professor in the Civil Engineering Department, specializing in structural and wind engineering. He leads a dynamic research group composed of PhD students, postdoctoral researchers, and master's students contributing significantly to the field. In recognition of Dr. El-Shayer's significant contributions, it is crucial to highlight the meticulous effort he invested in preparing this insightful lecture. The script for this presentation was initially crafted based on his detailed lecture materials. Subsequently, it underwent a thorough editing process to enhance clarity and engagement. The final edited version was then converted to a voice format using advanced AI text-to-speech technology, ensuring accessibility and a wider reach. Furthermore, to respect and uphold copyright laws, all original images used in the lecture were thoughtfully modified. These images, essential for illustrating key points, were recreated using AI technology, maintaining the integrity and original intent of Dr. El-Shayer's work. Additionally, the video for this course was prepared and edited by Dr. Ilyasi, whose efforts to create visually engaging and educational content have been invaluable. Dr. Ilyasi's meticulous attention to detail and dedication to educational excellence greatly enhanced the learning experience. Through these combined efforts, we strive to preserve and disseminate Dr. El-Shayer's and Dr. Ilyasi's valuable insights while adhering to ethical standards and promoting educational innovation. Dr. Ahmed El-Shayer is a distinguished associate professor in the Civil Engineering Department with a specialization in structural and wind engineering. He is at the helm of a dynamic research group that includes PhD candidates, postdoctoral researchers, and master's students. His leadership fosters a collaborative and innovative research environment that continually advances the frontiers of civil engineering. Dr. Syamak Ilyasi currently serves as the Associate Professor and Chair of the Chemical Engineering Department. He is also the lead instructor of this course, bringing a wealth of knowledge and expertise to his teaching. His leadership roles and commitment to academic excellence significantly enhance the educational experience for all participants. Before we delve into the details, I'd like to share a quick comic with you. Panel 1. We see a confident young woman in a red shirt, comfortably seated before her computer. She has an air of optimism that screams, "Okay, writing should not be hard." Her face is the picture of determination and positivity, clearly unprepared for the epic saga she's about to embark on. Panel 2. With her confidence still intact, she muses to herself, "Everything I want to say is in my head." Her expression is pensive yet hopeful, believing that her thoughts are neatly lined up like well-behaved children, just waiting to parade onto the page. Panel 3. A plot thickens as she plots her next move. She thinks, "I just have to transfer it from my brain to this computer." The task sounds as simple as moving files from one folder to another, except, as any writer knows, the brain does not have a straightforward copy-paste function. Panel 4. Cut to the final scene. Our heroine is visibly frazzled, her earlier composure replaced with an expression of intense frustration. Her hands thrown up in the air, she exclaims, writing the most impossible short distance in the history of humanity. The computer screen, still tauntingly blank, now seems like a vast desert separating her from her oasis of completed work. If you take a closer look at this comic, you'll notice a prominent character named Cecilia. She represents the common struggles many of us face when translating our thoughts, experiments, or computer work into a written document. This process can be exhausting, time-consuming, disappointing, and even a bit tiring for some. It's often hard to revise and review whether you're a student, a supervisor, a reviewer, or an editor. Reading such documents can also pose its own challenges. However, my goal today is to change the perception that writing scientific papers has to be a draining experience. I want you to start looking at it from a different perspective, one where writing becomes an enjoyable process akin to creating a work of art. Just like creating a beautiful painting or composing a melody can be fulfilling, so too can writing scientific papers. With proper training and practice, this process can become a rewarding endeavor. It's evident that scientific writing is often associated with negative sentiments like time-consuming, challenging, hard, and pain. I agree that for those who lack a systematic approach to writing, who don't utilize available writing tools, or haven't received specific training in technical writing, it can indeed feel this way. One reason for this perception is that we typically take numerous math, engineering, and technical courses throughout our education, but systematic courses on technical writing are often limited or overlooked. In the following minutes, I'll strive to share various techniques and methods that might help shift your perspective on writing. I won't claim to cover all of them, as there are countless approaches and some may work better for you than others. During this lecture, you'll hear about different methods, and my recommendation is to give each one a try. Don't judge them prematurely. Some methods that may seem doubtful at first can turn out to be incredibly beneficial with practice. Feel free to express your thoughts without looking at the existing words. Just write what comes to your mind when your supervisor or instructor assigns you a paper. What's your immediate reaction or feeling? Now, let's outline today's presentation. I'll primarily discuss 5 key areas. Preparation before writing, meaning we'll explore what you should consider before embarking on the writing journey. The writing process. I'll guide you through writing a paper from start to finish, covering key sections like the title, abstract, literature review, methodology, results, discussion, conclusion, acknowledgments, and references. We'll offer advice and techniques to systematize your writing effectively. Useful tools. I'll introduce various computer-based tools, software, plugins, and techniques that can significantly streamline your writing process. Submitting your paper. Focusing on how to select the right journal, what to include in your submissions, and other submission-related considerations, primarily for journal papers. Generic advice. We'll conclude with some general advice on scientific writing. So, let's start with the preparations required before diving into the actual writing process. So, what are the necessary steps we should take before diving into writing our paper? Here is the suggestion from last year's class. Choose your topic. Absolutely, one of the initial steps is to identify and select your research topic. Have a solid understanding. You need to have a good grasp of the subject matter you're writing about, but what if you're uncertain about what you're writing? Any suggestions? An extensive reading. Yes, reading extensively is crucial when you're not entirely sure about your topic. Narrow down your focus. Great point. Don't include everything you read instead. Select the most relevant information. Brainstorm. Brainstorming is a critical first step, particularly related to topic selection. It helps you gather ideas and pinpoint a research focus. Discuss with others. Collaborative brainstorming with peers can be immensely helpful. Understand the format. Knowing the required format for your paper is vital, especially for journal or conference submissions. Stay focused on the topic. Avoid distractions and maintain concise reading. Check the deadline. Excellent point. Knowing your time frame is crucial. Do you have ample time for a comprehensive research paper or a shorter assignment? These are all fantastic suggestions. It's clear you're mentioning some valuable ideas that are even better than what I had prepared. Let's see what else I had in mind. As a graduate student, one of the first steps is to engage with your supervisor. Your supervisor is a valuable resource, and building a strong working relationship is essential. Even if it may seem otherwise at times, your supervisor is typically one of your greatest assets in your research journey. It's beneficial to discuss your ideas with them, and the more you engage in these discussions, the better. During my PhD, I visited my supervisor's office only twice in 5 years. However, we met countless times at Tim Hortons for coffee. These discussions, whether brief or lengthy, help me articulate my research problems and find better solutions. Don't underestimate the importance of this resource. Initiate meetings with your supervisor, and if one is canceled, reschedule it promptly. Seek their guidance because regular discussions with your supervisor can provide valuable insights and methodologies. Your supervisor isn't your only resource, though. While we might not be working in top-secret nuclear reactor projects, it's still important to maintain research ethics. You can also discuss your research with trustworthy individuals, such as your research group, respected colleagues, thesis supervisory committee, course instructors, and lecturers. When writing a scientific article, thoroughly reading and understanding the literature related to your research problem is crucial. It helps you to identify gaps in existing knowledge, align your study with current advancements, and avoid duplication of efforts. Reviewing relevant articles provides insights into different methodologies, results, and interpretations that have shaped the field. This background research not only guides the formulation of your research questions, but also strengthens your arguments by situating your work within the broader scientific context. Engaging with the literature enhances the credibility of your study and contributes to the ongoing discourse in your area of research. Summarized but not neatly could refer to the process of condensing information without overly refining or polishing the summary. This approach might be useful in brainstorming sessions or early drafts, where the focus is on capturing the key points rather than perfecting the wording or structure. It allows for a more free-flowing and less rigid exploration of ideas, which can later be organized and refined as needed. This technique can encourage creativity and prevent the restriction that sometimes comes with trying to create a perfect summary on the first attempt. Lastly, mastering the skill of summarizing your research in a minute or two is invaluable. Always focus on describing the research problem rather than getting lost in technical details. We're working on solving a specific research problem, and we may be employing certain methods tailored to address that problem. The key here is to discuss your work and learn how to articulate it effectively. Be open to self-critique. Ask yourself if there are better ways to explain your research. This self-criticism, along with receiving constructive criticism, is a valuable skill to develop. In my research group, we have a weekly meeting where each member presents their work. Even if there's minimal progress, this regular practice of presenting and receiving feedback refines our work and keeps us moving forward. I encourage you to seek out opportunities like this to present your ideas and receive input. Another critical step is reading extensively about your research problem. Reading might seem straightforward, but many of us only skim papers. We glance at the abstract, admire the figures, and jump to the conclusions. However, truly reading a paper means going from the title to the acknowledgments. It's about investing the time to read an entire paper thoroughly. I know it can be challenging and sometimes overwhelming, but it's a skill that needs practice. Think of it like training for a long-distance run. You start with shorter distances and gradually increase your stamina. Similarly, you need to train yourself to read entire papers, not just bits and pieces. However, it's essential to be selective. You don't have to read every paper cover to cover. Focus on the ones that will play a significant role in your research, the ones you'll refer to frequently, or the ones from highly respected researchers in your field. Reading these papers from top to bottom will teach you not only about your subject matter but also about how to write your own papers effectively. Present your ideas and readings. When presenting your research, people often focus on what they themselves have conducted. They might say, "I performed this experiment in the lab, and here are the results," or "I conducted this numerical simulation, and this is what we found." While it's essential to showcase your work, don't underestimate the value of presenting other people's research. This practice deepens your understanding and can be a part of your comprehensive exam, seminar, or course presentation. Understanding and articulating existing research is crucial. When reviewing papers, I can often gauge whether they'll be accepted or rejected just from the first few lines. If the authors don't demonstrate an understanding of what others have done or where their work fits within the state of the art, it raises concerns about their ability to contribute effectively. So the more you comprehend the work of other researchers, the better equipped you are to build on it. It's like standing on the shoulders of giants to reach new heights in your research. Taking notes from others' feedback is essential when presenting your work. Whether it's your supervisor, a colleague, or a course instructor providing feedback, always have a notepad ready. It's unfortunate to see someone in a presentation without a piece of paper to jot down the valuable feedback offered to them. These notes are essential for continuous self-improvement. However, keep in mind that you don't need to follow every piece of advice blindly. If you do, you might end up with a jumble of conflicting recommendations. There's one exception to this rule: your supervisor's advice. Usually, you should follow their guidance closely. But even with your supervisor, if you disagree, it's perfectly okay to justify your perspective. In some cases, students have valid points that challenge their supervisor's viewpoint. Healthy discussions can lead to better research outcomes. Now, let's address two more important aspects. Sometimes, the best plans start as handwritten scribbles. These scribbles and rough sketches can be the foundation of your research. Keep in mind that we're preparing for actual research here. Those seemingly ugly, handwritten notes can become some of the most valuable documents on your desk. I can personally attest that some of my most critical research planning started as nothing more than scribbles and numbers on a piece of paper. When you feel lost, these notes can guide you back on track. Lastly, familiarize yourself with the target journal. If you're preparing a journal paper, ask your supervisor about the expected submission timeline. Knowing when you plan to submit helps you set your time frame. Equally important is understanding the specific journal you intend to submit to. This can affect two crucial aspects: formatting and length. Some journals have strict page limits, while others are more flexible. Being aware of these constraints in advance saves you the trouble of having to trim or expand your paper later. Regarding formatting, it's worth noting that citation and reference styles can vary significantly between journals. Some use author names and years, while others prefer numeric references. Knowing which style your target journal follows can save you from having to reformat your paper later. I recommend quickly skimming through the journal's guidelines for authors. You'll likely revisit them after completing your paper, but this initial reading can provide valuable insights. For instance, some journals may require a proposal for review papers before accepting the full manuscript. Being aware of these requirements up front can prevent wasted effort. Finally, some journals offer a your paper your way approach. This means you can submit your paper in almost any format, and they'll adjust it to fit their standards upon acceptance. It's a convenient option that allows you to focus on your research rather than formatting minutiae. Keep these considerations in mind as you embark on your research journey. Now, regarding formatting, I'd like to emphasize that it's essential to write your paper in the format required by your target journal from the beginning. While it might seem convenient to write it first and then adjust it upon acceptance, it's a better practice to follow the journal's guidelines right from the start. This way, you avoid the hassle of significant reformatting later. Do you have any questions so far? The easiest way to write a paper is to write it from the top to the bottom. It is suggesting a straightforward and linear approach to writing. This method involves starting with the introduction and progressing through each section in the order they will appear in the final paper, ending with the conclusion. This approach can simplify the writing process by keeping the structure clear and coherent, ensuring that each section builds logically on the previous one. Writing from top to bottom can also help maintain a consistent flow of ideas, making it easier to articulate arguments and ensure that the paper remains focused on the research objectives. This method contrasts with more fragmented writing approaches, where different sections might be written out of order and then pieced together later. While the linear approach might seem less flexible, it can be particularly effective for those who prefer a more organized and methodical writing process. The first piece of advice I'd like to offer is regarding the title of your paper. I strongly recommend that you begin with a working title. Keep in mind that this title will undergo refinement and adjustments as you progress. Even though it's preliminary, ensure that your title possesses the following attributes. Aim for a concise title. Avoid making it lengthy. It's not common to come across journal paper titles that span 3 lines or more. Overly lengthy titles can essentially read like an abstract, and that's not an efficient approach. Your title should ideally consist of 9 to 15 words. Anything longer may not be reader-friendly. Be clear and avoid ambiguity in your title. Steer clear of uncommon abbreviations or method names. For instance, if you're studying a compound with an uncommon abbreviation like CHSFL, refrain from using it in your title. Uncommon abbreviations. especially those you've invented, should generally be avoided in titles. Stick to commonly understood abbreviations, such as AI artificial intelligence in the context of industrial manufacturing. When crafting the title of an article, it's essential to avoid using abbreviations. Abbreviations can obscure meaning and reduce the clarity of your title, making it potentially inaccessible to a broader audience who may not be familiar with the shortened forms. A clear and fully articulated title not only facilitates better understanding but also enhances the article's discoverability in searches, ensuring that readers can easily find and comprehend the focus of your work. Thus, spelling out terms fully in your title is crucial for effective communication and engagement with your intended readership. Make your title engaging. Try to hint at some of the key results or outcomes. Let me illustrate this with an example from my field of research. While I don't have a published paper with this title, imagine a title like Developing Resilient Modular Structural Connections for Climate Hazard-Prone Areas. In just a few words, this title mentions the solution resilient modular structural connections, the materials suitable for climate hazard-prone areas, and provides a glimpse into the methodology. Ensure your title is relevant to your research. It should capture the essence of your work and resonate with potential readers. While it's essential to make your title engaging, avoid unnecessary complexity or jargon. Clear and straightforward titles are often more effective. Now, let's discuss the abstract. In my view, writing the abstract at the end of the paper is the most effective approach. This allows you to have all the pieces of the puzzle in place before summarizing your entire paper. I recognize that opinions on this matter may differ, but I'm sharing what works for me. During this lecture, I'm offering my perspective, which you can adapt to your own preferences. The key is to establish a systematic workflow and then refine it as needed. Don't overanalyze each step. Instead, adopt a holistic system and modify it to suit your needs. An abstract is a crucial component of a scholarly article, providing a concise summary of the content. It typically includes several key elements to give readers a clear overview of what to expect from the full article. Here are the main items usually found in an abstract. Purpose. States the main objectives or research questions the paper addresses. This helps readers understand the focus and scope of the study. Methods. Briefly describes the methodology used to conduct the research, including the type of study, data collection techniques, and analytical tools. This gives an insight into how the research was carried out and the validity of the results. Results. Highlights the most significant findings of the study. This may include data, themes, or other important discoveries that emerged from the research. Conclusion. Summarizes the implications of the findings and their relevance. This may also include a brief discussion on the limitations of the study and suggestions for future research. Significance. Explains the importance of the research and its contributions to the field. This could relate to how it advances knowledge, influences practice, or provides solutions to a problem. An effective abstract allows the reader to quickly understand the essence of the paper and decide whether to read the full document for more detailed information. When it comes to the introduction, I recommend incorporating 3 essential components: relevance and importance. Begin by highlighting the relevance and significance of your field or topic. Explain why your research is crucial. Convey why it's essential to delve into this specific area. Is there a documented gap or issue that demands attention? Establish the context and motivation behind your research. This initial section sets the stage for readers, helping them understand why your work is significant. Existing literature. Transition smoothly into a discussion of the existing literature relevant to your topic or problem. Avoid the common mistake of listing studies without context. Instead, craft a narrative with your literature. Weave it into a story that flows naturally. Your literature should guide readers, enabling them to see the necessity of your research. Build connections and highlight relevant findings without merely presenting a list of studies. Research solution. Conclude the introduction by providing a glimpse of potential solutions or avenues to address the research problem. Avoid delving into specifics at this stage. Instead, offer a high-level overview. Essentially, you're setting the stage for readers to understand why your research is essential and what contributions it might make. In summary, the introduction should smoothly guide readers, helping them comprehend the field's relevance, recognize the research problem, and understand potential solutions. This approach ensures your introduction serves as a captivating and informative prelude to your research. In essence, aim to tell a coherent and engaging story with your literature, steering the discussion rather than just presenting facts. A well-crafted introduction will naturally lead readers to appreciate the significance of your work. It's important to emphasize that conducting research solely because it hasn't been done before is insufficient. There must be a clear relevance and motivation behind your research endeavor. What I'm getting at is the opening paragraphs of your paper should address why your research is significant and what gaps or issues it addresses. This pertains to various audiences, be it fellow researchers, practitioners, or the general public. By establishing the relevance, you breathe life into your research. Now, let's discuss the background section. It's divided into two parts. The first part, as mentioned earlier, addresses the importance and relevance of your research. This is where you illuminate the problems that are concerning individuals, whether they are researchers, practitioners, or the general public. By doing so, you're providing context and relevance to your research. In the second part of the background, you introduce elements from existing literature. If you take away one crucial piece of advice from this lecture, it should be this: avoid listing literature in a dry and uninspiring manner. For instance, saying Zank et al. Conducted 3 experiments on 3 samples, yielding these findings is essentially regurgitating the abstract of the reference paper. Instead, extract the essence of these studies, rephrase them, and weave them into your own narrative. This process transforms them into a seamless part of your literature, making your paper more engaging and insightful. Remember, your literature should tell a story, not serve as an inventory of papers. The worst kind of literature review merely dumps information without context. As a reviewer for numerous journals, I can attest that encountering such reviews often leads to disinterest in the paper. Effective literature integrates seamlessly into your narrative, guiding the reader through the thought process that led you to your research. It's like driving a car. You sit in the driver's seat, steering the discussion, and skillfully incorporating various pieces of information to support your argument. You're not just reciting facts, you're leading a discussion. A well-crafted literature review begins with the writer's perspective. Start by jotting down your observations from your readings. Here's a tip I'll emphasize again later when you're writing. Close all other sources, disconnect from the internet, and concentrate solely on getting your thoughts on paper. If you forget something, put it in brackets and keep moving forward. Avoid interrupting your writing flow. Later, insert the names of researchers, supporting information, and the study years. Try to recall whatever you can. Remember, you're taking the driver's seat in this process. Now, about reading papers, avoid the mindset that everything you read must be included in your literature review just because you invested time in reading it. This isn't necessary. As someone who doesn't have the best memory for names, I understand that what sticks are the concepts, not the authors. You'll remember that you've come across relevant information, and you can locate the source later. So, your literature review should be guided by your insights, not dictated by everything you've read. Does this approach make sense? In summary, present your literature in a vertical, interconnected manner that creates a compelling narrative. Avoid horizontal lists of unrelated studies. By categorizing and integrating the literature effectively, you guide the reader's understanding of your research journey. Your goal is to engage the reader and spark their curiosity about your research, not simply deliver information. In scientific writing, a good literature review should seamlessly lead to the problem statement. Readers should see the problem emerging naturally from the literature you've presented. If your literature review seems like a random assortment of studies, it's poorly structured. The problem statement can be a paragraph or more, depending on available space. It could still reside within the introduction or be a separate section, but it must be clear and placed near the beginning of your paper. When you introduce the problem statement, make it quantifiable. Specify what needs addressing and how it can be measured. For example, if you're discussing the need for accurate modeling and push-over analysis of tall structures over 100 meters, highlight why it's necessary and the current shortcomings. Make it clear that your research aims to achieve a quantifiable improvement. Don't overstate your intentions, be humble and concise. Lastly, acknowledge the limitations of your proposed solution. Don't claim to solve every problem in the world. Be honest about the scope of your research and its potential applications and limitations. It's not a weakness to admit that your work addresses part of the problem. What's important is that you provide a clear understanding of your research's boundaries. When writing the methodology section of an academic article, it's crucial to provide a clear and detailed account of how the research was conducted. This allows other researchers to understand, replicate, or build upon your work. Here are some key points to consider that align with the emphasis on using the present tense, planning before conducting the research, taking notes in advance, and ensuring repeatability. Use of present tense. In the methodology section, it's standard practice to use the present tense when describing methods that are existing or still applicable at the time of reading. This helps communicate that the methods are standard and can currently be replicated. Plan before doing. Effective research requires careful planning. Outline your research design and strategies before you begin collecting data. This involves defining the research questions, hypotheses, and variables, as well as deciding on the experimental design, selection criteria for participants, and methods of data collection and analysis. Planning ensures that the research process is systematic and coherent. Take notes in advance. Documenting the process as you design your methodology is crucial. Keep detailed notes on why certain methods were chosen, how experimental setups were constructed, and any adjustments made during the preliminary phases. This detailed record-keeping will not only aid in writing a more accurate methodology section, but also ensure that your research is transparent and reproducible. Describe methods clearly for repeatability. The methodology should be described with enough detail to allow someone else to replicate the study under similar conditions. This includes detailed descriptions. Explain every step of the experimental procedure clearly. Include information on materials used, equipment settings, experimental conditions, sample sizes, and any protocols followed. Justification of choices. Discuss the reasons behind choosing specific techniques and tools. This could be related to their accuracy, reliability, or relevance to the research objectives. Modifications. If any standard methods were modified, describe how and why these modifications were necessary. When writing the results and discussion sections of an academic article, it is essential to present your findings clearly and interpret them within the context of the research question. Effective use of figures plays a crucial role in these sections, as visual representations can communicate complex data more effectively than text alone. Here's how to approach these sections with an emphasis on the strategic use of figures. Presenting data with figures. Use figures, charts, graphs, tables, diagrams to present complex data succinctly. Visual aids can help readers quickly grasp trends, comparisons, and relationships that might be cumbersome to describe in prose. Choose figures that are most relevant to the central findings of your research. Each figure should have a clear purpose and contribute directly to the understanding of the results. Accompany each figure with a concise caption that explains what the figure depicts and why it is important. Refer to each figure in the text, guiding the reader through the findings in a logical sequence. Concise and objective reporting. Use neutral language to report the results. Stick to what the data shows without drawing conclusions or discussing implications in this section. Discussion section. Interpreting results. You have to clearly and logically interpret the result of your work. Discuss how your results fit with existing knowledge. Use figures to compare your findings with previous studies or theoretical expectations. Explore the implications of your findings, suggesting how they might influence future research, theory, or practice. Address any limitations in your study that might affect the interpretation of the results. This can include discussing how different figures might be interpreted or might lead to different conclusions. Using figures to enhance your narrative. Use figures to back up claims made in your discussion. For instance, if you mention that a result is statistically significant, you might include a bar graph showing the relevant data points. When discussing how your results compare to others, figures can illustrate these differences or similarities more effectively than textual description alone. Use line graphs or scatter plots to discuss trends over time or correlations that support your argument. General tips for using figures: ensure that all figures are of high quality, with clear labels, legible fonts, and high-resolution formats suitable for publication. Maintain consistency in the style and formatting of all figures to provide a cohesive visual experience. Number figures sequentially and refer to them in the text by these numbers. Never mention a figure without discussing its relevance in the text. Writing the conclusion section of an academic article requires a precise and focused approach to effectively encapsulate the core findings and their implications. Here's how to craft a conclusion that adheres to best practices, such as emphasizing the most important observations, avoiding exaggeration, and sticking to what was found. Start your conclusion by clearly summarizing the most crucial findings of your research. Focus on the observations that are most significant to your study's goals and objectives. This is not the place to discuss every result, but rather to emphasize the ones that provide the most substantial insights or advancements in understanding. Directly state the conclusions that can be drawn from the results. Be specific and concise, mention only what your data supports. Avoid making broader generalizations that your research does not explicitly justify. For instance, if your findings indicate a strong correlation between two variables, highlight this specific relationship rather than making a sweeping statement about causation unless your data specifically supports it. Refer back to the research question or hypothesis you introduced at the beginning of the paper and discuss how your findings address this. Make sure to connect the dots clearly for the reader, illustrating how the results you have presented provide answers or insights related to these initial queries. Briefly touch on the implications of your findings. If applicable, discuss how they can be used to inform practice, influence policy, or contribute to theoretical frameworks in your field. Ensure that these implications are directly supported by your results. Suggest areas for further research that could expand on your findings or address limitations in your study. Keep these recommendations realistic and directly relevant to your results. Be vigilant about not overstating the scope or significance of your research. Conclude with a sober, measured tone that reflects the data and analysis presented. Acknowledge any limitations in the study that might affect the interpretation of the results. Writing the references and citations section in an academic article is critical for acknowledging the sources you've utilized and enabling other researchers to locate these sources. Here are some important keys to consider when preparing this section. Select a citation style that is commonly used in your field, such as APA, MLA, Chicago, or IE. The choice often depends on the norms of your discipline or the requirements of the journal to which you are submitting. Ensure that every entry in the reference list follows the exact format required by the chosen citation style. This includes the order of information, punctuation, capitalization, and layout. For books, include the author S, title, edition if applicable, place of publication, publisher, and year of publication. For journal articles, include the author S, title of the article, title of the journal, volume, issue, page numbers, and year of publication. For online sources, include the author S, title, and URL, or DOI digital object identifier. Date of access is also often required, especially if the material might change over time. Entries in the reference list should be alphabetized by the last name of the first author of each work. Include every source that you cite in the body of your article. Conversely, ensure that every source listed in your references has been cited at least once in your article. When citing multiple works by the same author, order them chronologically, starting with the earliest publication. If the works are from the same year, use letters to differentiate them, e.g. 2021A, 2021 billion. Double-check each citation for accuracy and completeness. Errors in citations can lead to accusations of carelessness or even plagiarism. Consider using citation management tools like Zotero, Mendeley, or EndNote. These tools can help you organize your references and automatically format them according to different citation styles. Preferably cite primary sources over secondary ones to ensure accuracy in conveying the original ideas and findings. Ensure that each reference has a corresponding citation in the text, making it easy for readers to find the source material. To ensure the highest quality of your scientific manuscript, it is crucial to adopt a meticulous process of self-review and continuous refinement. As the primary author, you should assume the role of your work's first, second, and even third reviewer, critically assessing your manuscript from various perspectives. This iterative process not only aids in identifying and correcting potential errors, but also enhances the clarity, coherence, and impact of your research narrative. The most efficient approach to manuscript writing involves drafting your ideas quickly to capture the essence of your research, followed by multiple rounds of thorough revision. Each revision allows you to refine your arguments, improve the structure, and ensure the accuracy of your findings. This cycle of writing and revising is essential for producing a well-polished, compelling, and scientifically rigorous paper. Several tools and software are available to enhance the quality of a manuscript, making the writing and revision process more efficient and effective. Grammarly and Hemingway Editor are popular for checking grammar, punctuation, and readability, helping authors craft clearer and more concise sentences. EndNote and Zotero assist in managing references and citations, ensuring proper formatting and reducing errors in bibliographies. Turnitin and Authenticate are widely used to detect plagiarism, ensuring the originality of the work. For collaborative writing and version control, Overleaf for LaTeX users in Google Docs offer real-time collaboration and easy tracking of changes. Lastly, Mendeley and RefWorks provide additional reference management capabilities, along with tools like Paperpile that integrate with Google Docs for seamless citation management. These tools collectively help streamline the manuscript preparation process, improve the quality of writing, and ensure adherence to academic standards. One of the most useful tools is Grammarly. Grammarly add-on provides clear instructions on how to install the Grammarly add-on in Microsoft Word. Emphasize that Grammarly not only checks for spelling and grammar but can also assist in plagiarism detection and improving sentence structure. Highlighting the most advantages of using writing tools, we can mention such as saving time on manual proofreading, enhancing clarity, and avoiding embarrassing mistakes in academic or professional documents. Mention that advanced tools like Grammarly's premium version can help in plagiarism detection. Encourage students to use this feature to ensure the originality of their work. For almost all of you as international students and non-native English speakers, that these tools can be especially beneficial in improving the fluency and coherence of your writing. The dictation checker and read aloud features in Microsoft Word are valuable tools for reviewing an article you have developed. The dictation checker allows you to speak your thoughts instead of typing them, which can help in capturing your ideas more naturally and quickly. This can be particularly useful during the initial drafting phase, as it lets you focus on the flow of ideas without being bogged down by typing errors or formatting issues. The read aloud feature, on the other hand, plays a crucial role during the revision process. Hearing your text read back to you can help you identify awkward phrasing, grammatical errors, and inconsistencies that you might miss when reading silently. This auditory review method can also highlight issues with the rhythm and flow of your writing, making it easier to detect sections that may be unclear or overly complex. Together, these tools enhance your ability to refine your manuscript by providing a different perspective on your writing, helping to ensure clarity, coherence, and overall quality. Natural Reader is a text-to-speech software designed to convert written text into spoken words, making it a valuable tool for various applications, including proofreading, content creation, and accessibility. The software is particularly useful for reviewing written documents, such as manuscripts, reports, and articles. When using Natural Reader, you can listen to your text being read aloud in a natural-sounding voice, which can help you identify errors, awkward phrasing, or areas where the text does not flow well. This auditory review can catch mistakes that might be overlooked when reading silently, as hearing the text allows you to experience it from a reader's perspective. The software supports multiple file formats, including PDFs, Word documents, and web pages, making it versatile for different types of content. Natural Reader also offers customization options, such as adjusting the reading speed and choosing from different voices, allowing users to tailor the experience to their preferences. Additionally, it has features like a floating toolbar, which lets you convert text from any application into speech without leaving your current work environment. Overall, Natural Reader is an effective tool for improving the quality of your writing by providing a new way to engage with your text, ensuring that it is clear, coherent, and free from errors. Zotero is a powerful open-source tool designed for managing citations and references, making it an essential resource for researchers, students, and academics. It functions as both a reference manager and a research assistant, helping users collect, organize, cite, and share research materials. Here are some key features and benefits of using Zotero. Zotero allows you to store and organize your research sources in a personal library. You can save articles, books, websites, and other resources directly from your browser with a single click, making it easy to keep track of your sources. Zotero can automatically generate citations and bibliographies in various citation styles, including APA, MLA, Chicago, and more. This feature simplifies the process of correctly formatting citations, which can be particularly time-consuming if done manually. Zotero integrates seamlessly with word processors like Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and LibreOffice. This integration allows you to insert citations directly into your documents as you write, and it will automatically generate a bibliography based on the sources you've cited. Zotero supports collaborative work by allowing you to share your libraries with colleagues or team members. This is especially useful for group projects, as everyone can contribute to and access the same set of references. You can add tags and notes to your references in Zotero, making it easier to categorize and annotate your research materials. This helps in keeping your research organized and in quickly retrieving specific references when needed. Zotero offers cloud storage and sync capabilities, so your library can be accessed and updated across multiple devices. This ensures that you have your research materials available wherever you are. In summary, Zotero is a comprehensive tool that streamlines the process of collecting, managing, and citing research sources. It saves time, reduces errors in citation formatting, and enhances collaboration, making it a valuable asset for anyone involved in academic writing and research. Mendeley is a popular reference management software and academic social network that assists researchers, students, and academics in organizing their research, managing citations, and collaborating with others. Developed by Elsevier, Mendeley offers a range of features designed to streamline the research process and improve the efficiency of managing academic papers and references. Here's an overview of what Mendeley offers. Mendeley allows users to collect, organize, and manage their research papers, articles, and other academic documents. You can easily import references from various sources, including online databases, PDFs, and manual entry. The software automatically extracts metadata such as the title, author, and journal from PDFs, making it easier to keep your library organized. Mendeley provides tools for automatically generating citations and bibliographies in a wide range of citation styles, including APA, MLA, Chicago, and others. This feature integrates with word processors like Microsoft Word and LibreOffice, allowing you to insert citations directly into your documents as you write. Mendeley can automatically create and update your bibliography based on the sources cited in your paper. Mendeley offers a built-in PDF viewer that allows you to read and annotate PDFs within the software. You can highlight text, add notes, and make comments directly on the documents, which can be useful for keeping track of important information or ideas as you review your research materials. Mendeley supports collaboration by allowing you to create private or public groups where you can share references, PDFs, and notes with colleagues or collaborators. This feature is particularly valuable for research teams or study groups who need to work together on a project or share resources. Mendeley functions as an academic social network, enabling users to connect with other researchers in their field. You can follow researchers, join groups based on your interests, and stay up to date with the latest research trends and publications. Mendeley also provides a platform to showcase your own research and publications to a global audience. Mendeley offers cloud storage for your references and documents, ensuring that your library is accessible from multiple devices, including your desktop, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. The software automatically syncs your library across all your devices, so you can access your research materials anywhere, anytime. Mendeley's recommendation engine suggests relevant research papers based on the content in your library and your research interests. This feature helps you stay informed about new publications in your field and discover papers that may be relevant to your work. Mendeley is available as a mobile app, allowing you to access your library, read papers, and annotate PDFs on the go. This flexibility makes it easier to continue your research and reference management while away from your primary workstation. Mendeley is a comprehensive tool that simplifies the management of research papers and references, enhances collaboration among researchers, and provides a platform for discovering and sharing academic content. Whether you are writing a research paper, collaborating on a project, or simply organizing your research materials, Mendeley offers a range of features that can significantly improve your productivity and the quality of your academic work. In Microsoft Word, the caption and cross-referencing tools are essential for labeling and linking different elements in a document, such as figures, tables, and equations. The caption tool allows you to add descriptive labels, e.g., Figure 1 graph of results. Table 2 experimental data to figures, tables, equations, and other objects. This provides clarity and helps readers easily identify and reference these elements. When you insert a caption, Word automatically numbers it according to the order it appears in the document. If you add or remove figures or tables, Word will update the numbering to maintain consistency. You can customize the label, e.g., changing figure to diagram, and include additional descriptive text to provide context or explanation for the figure or table. Cross-referencing tool allows you to insert references to other parts of your document, such as figures, tables, headings, or equations. For example, you can create a sentence that says as shown in Figure 1, where Figure 1 is a clickable link to the actual figure. If you move or renumber the referenced item, the cross-reference automatically updates to reflect the correct number or location, ensuring accuracy throughout your document. Cross-references improve the document's readability and navigation by helping readers quickly locate related content within the document. In a scientific paper, figures and annotations should be presented with clarity, accuracy, and high quality to effectively communicate the data or concepts. Here are key guidelines. Ensure that all figures are high resolution and not distorted. Avoid using screenshots as they can compromise quality. Instead, export figures directly from the software used to create them, e.g., Excel, MATLAB, in formats like PNG, TIFF, or EPS, which maintain clarity and sharpness. Annotations such as labels, legends, and captions should be clear, concise, and placed appropriately within or near the figure. Use consistent font sizes and styles across all figures to maintain uniformity. Number figures sequentially in the order they are mentioned in the text, e.g., Figure 1, Figure 2. Each figure should have a corresponding caption that briefly describes the content or the main takeaway of the figure. The caption should be placed below the figure and include any relevant information necessary to understand the figure independently from the main text. Do not resize or alter figures in a way that distorts the data or image quality. Maintain the original aspect ratio when resizing and ensure that all text within the figure remains legible. By following these guidelines, figures in a scientific paper will effectively support the text, providing clear and accurate visual representations of the data or concepts being discussed. LitMaps is a tool designed to help researchers map and visualize the connections between academic papers, making it easier to explore and understand the landscape of research literature. LitMaps allows you to create visual maps of academic literature, showing how papers are connected through citations. This helps you see the relationships between different studies, identify key papers, and understand the development of research topics over time. The tool enables you to track ongoing research by creating dynamic maps that update as new papers are published. This keeps you informed about the latest developments in your field and helps you stay current with emerging trends. With Lit Maps, you can explore the citation paths between papers, which can help you discover foundational research or identify gaps in the literature. This can be particularly useful when conducting a literature review or planning new research. Lit Maps also supports collaboration by allowing you to share your maps with colleagues or team members. This fosters collaborative exploration of literature, making it easier to work together on research projects. The software provides a visual and interactive overview of the research landscape, saves time by simplifying the process of identifying relevant literature and understanding research trends, enhances your ability to spot influential papers and research gaps, supporting better informed research decisions. Overall, Lit Maps is a powerful tool for researchers looking to navigate and make sense of the vast amount of academic literature in their field. If you are planning to submit your article for publication in a scholarly journal, this section is designed to provide you with essential guidance and support throughout the process. Publishing in academic journals is a crucial aspect of a researcher's career for several reasons, particularly in terms of discoverability, contributing to the research field, benefiting from peer review, advancing one's career, and preventing duplication of efforts. Publishing in reputable journals ensures that your research is discoverable by a global audience. Journals have broad reach and are indexed in various academic databases, making your work accessible to other researchers, practitioners, and policymakers. This visibility increases the impact of your research and allows others to build on your findings. By publishing, you contribute to the ongoing scholarly conversation within your field. Your work becomes part of the cumulative knowledge base, helping to shape future research directions. It provides a documented, accessible source of knowledge that others can reference, ensuring that your contributions are recognized and valued. The peer review process is a fundamental aspect of academic publishing. It provides valuable feedback from experts in your field, which can help refine your research, improve the quality of your work, and ensure its scientific rigor. Peer-reviewed publications are often seen as more credible and authoritative, which enhances the legitimacy of your research. Publishing in journals is often essential for career advancement in academia and research. It demonstrates your ability to conduct rigorous research, contributes to your professional reputation, and is a key metric used in evaluations for promotions, tenure, and funding opportunities. A strong publication record is often a prerequisite for establishing yourself as an expert in your field. Publishing your research ensures that others are aware of your work, which helps prevent unnecessary duplication of research efforts. When your findings are published, they are formally recorded, allowing other researchers to know what has already been done, thereby guiding them to explore new directions or build on your work rather than unknowingly replicating it. In summary, publishing in journals is essential for making your research discoverable, contributing to your field, benefiting from peer review, advancing your career, and preventing duplication of efforts, all of which are critical to the progression of science and your professional development. Choosing the right journal for submitting a paper is a crucial decision that can significantly impact the visibility, credibility, and impact of your research. Here are some key factors to consider. Your supervisor or mentor is a valuable resource in selecting an appropriate journal. They have experience in the field and can provide guidance based on the quality of your research, the journal's reputation, and its relevance to your work. Their advice can help you avoid pitfalls such as submitting to a journal with a low acceptance rate or one that is not well regarded in your discipline. The journals you frequently encounter in your literature review are likely good candidates for submitting your paper. These journals are already publishing work in your area of research, indicating that your paper might fit well within their scope. Observing where key papers in your field are published can provide insights into the most suitable journals for your submission. Examine the journals where the papers you cite most frequently have been published. If your research builds on or aligns closely with these works, submitting to the same journals can be a strategic choice. This also ensures that your paper reaches the audience most interested in your topic. Publisher websites provide detailed information about their journals, including the journal scope, submission guidelines, review process, and target audience. Exploring these resources can help you determine whether a journal is a good fit for your paper. Some publishers also offer tools that suggest potential journals based on your manuscript's title and abstract. The impact factor is a metric that reflects the average number of citations received by articles published in a journal. While not the only measure of a journal's quality, a higher impact factor often indicates greater influence and prestige. However, it's important to balance the desire for a high impact factor with the journal's relevance to your work and its readership. Consider whether you want to publish your paper in an open access journal. Open access allows your work to be freely accessible to anyone, increasing its visibility and potential impact. However, some open access journals charge publication fees, so you'll need to weigh the benefits of wider accessibility against the potential costs. Discussing this option with your supervisor can help you make an informed decision. In summary, selecting a journal for submission involves a strategic approach that considers advice from your supervisor, insights from your readings and reference list, information from publisher websites, the journal's impact factor, and the benefits of open access. Making an informed choice increases the likelihood of your paper being accepted and reaching the right audience. A cover letter for a journal submission is a critical document that introduces your manuscript to the journal editor. It should succinctly summarize the key elements of your research and its contribution to the scientific community. Here's a brief explanation of each component you should include in the cover letter. Address the letter directly to the editor by name, if possible. This personalizes your submission and shows attention to detail. Clearly state the name of the journal to which you are submitting. This ensures that the letter is appropriately directed and minimizes the chance of misrouting. Include the full title of your manuscript as it appears in the submission. This helps in identifying the study and linking the cover letter to the manuscript. Specify whether your manuscript is a review, research article, case study, etc. This categorizes your submission under the correct stream for the journal's review process. Mention the date of submission. This can be important for journals that have submission windows or are sensitive to publication timelines. Provide a concise background that frames the context of your research and the specific research question or hypothesis your study addresses. Summarize the methodologies employed in your research to give the editor an understanding of the approach and the scope of the study. Highlight the key findings and their implications. Explain why these results are significant and how they contribute to the field. This helps to establish the value of your work to the journal's audience. Include detailed contact information for the corresponding author, who will handle communications about the manuscript. This typically includes an email address, phone number, and mailing address. Clearly state that the manuscript is original, has not been published elsewhere, and is not under consideration by another journal. This is a crucial declaration for avoiding issues of duplicate submission or publication. This cover letter serves as a pitch to the editor about why your manuscript deserves to be published in their journal, and it should be crafted carefully to make a strong case for your research. When suggesting reviewers for your journal submission, it's important to adhere to best practices that ensure a fair, comprehensive, and unbiased review process. Here's how to approach it. Here are a few suggestions for reviewers. Investigate your field thoroughly to identify scholars who have expertise in your subject area. Look for individuals who have published recently and significantly in the domain, as they are likely to be up to date with the latest developments and capable of providing insightful feedback. Aim to recommend reviewers from a variety of backgrounds, institutions, and countries. This diversity can provide different perspectives on your work, enhancing the depth of the review process. Include experts from related fields to broaden the scope of expertise and to obtain comprehensive critiques that might cover aspects beyond your immediate focus. Ensure that all recommended reviewers are acknowledged experts in your field. They should have a proven track record of publications and contributions to the area of research your paper addresses. This expertise is crucial for a meaningful and critical assessment of your work. Take your time to research potential reviewers. Consider their recent publications, their contributions to the field, and their areas of interest to ensure they align with the subject matter of your paper. A well-considered list reflects well on you and can influence the review process positively. Avoid these for suggesting reviewers. Do not recommend people with whom you have a personal relationship or close professional ties, as this can introduce bias into the review process. The objectivity of the review could be compromised if there's a perceived conflict of interest. It's generally not appropriate to suggest current editors of the journal to which you're submitting, as they are often already overloaded with commitments and could have conflicts of interest. Avoid recommending reviewers solely because you believe they will agree with your work or view it favorably. The purpose of peer review is to engage with constructive, critical feedback, not merely to obtain endorsement. Do not recommend reviewers from your own institution, as this could lead to a conflict of interest or give the appearance of bias. Ensure that not all reviewers come from the same country or region. Including international experts can bring diverse insights and reflect a global perspective on your research, which is particularly important in fields that have universal applications or implications. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure that the review process for your manuscript is robust, fair, and valuable, contributing positively to the advancement of your research and to the scholarly community. When writing an acknowledgement section in an article, it's important to adhere to several key practices to ensure clarity, professionalism, and proper recognition of contributions. Here's a detailed explanation based on the guidelines provided. Use first-person language to convey a personal touch while maintaining a professional tone. This approach helps personalize the acknowledgments, making them sincere and genuine. As an example, you may want to say, "I would like to extend my gratitude to." Begin by thanking those individuals who have made significant professional contributions to your work. This includes collaborators, mentors, or anyone who provided intellectual support. Be specific by mentioning their full names, titles, and the nature of their contribution. As an example, you may write, "I am particularly grateful to Dr. Jane Smith, Professor of Chemical Engineering, for her invaluable guidance and critical insights throughout this project." Acknowledge the resources that played a crucial role in your research. This can include datasets provided by collaborators, equipment lent by institutions, software licenses donated by companies, or computational support. As an example, you may want to say, "Special thanks are due to the Center for Computational Research at XYZ's University for providing access to their supercomputing facilities, and to a BC Corp for the use of their image analysis software." It is crucial to acknowledge financial support. Mention all relevant funding bodies along with the specific grant numbers. This not only shows gratitude but also fulfills many grant requirements for accountability. As an example, you may want to say ... This work was supported by the National Science Foundation under Grant No. ABC 123456 and the XYZ Research Fund Grant No. DEF 789101. An acknowledgement section should concisely and precisely convey your gratitude. Keep each acknowledgement clear and to the point, ensuring that every contribution is recognized appropriately. Final thoughts. Important, but not exhaustive. The advice to read a lot. Read a lot. Read a lot and to read in detail, not superficial reading, is crucial for anyone engaged in writing an article, particularly in an academic or research context. Here's a detailed explanation of why this advice is so important. Reading extensively across a wide range of sources related to your topic helps you gain a comprehensive understanding of the subject. This broad knowledge is essential not only for grasping the current state of research, but also for identifying gaps in the literature that your article could address. Detailed, in-depth reading allows you to delve deeper into specific topics, understand complex theories, and grasp nuanced arguments. This depth of understanding is crucial for producing a high-quality article that contributes meaningfully to the field. It ensures that your work is grounded in a solid comprehension of existing research. In-depth reading encourages critical engagement with texts. You learn to identify strengths and weaknesses in arguments, which in turn sharpens your ability to think critically about your own work. This critical lens is invaluable when it comes to constructing a robust argument or framework for your article. By reading widely and in detail, you accumulate a vast reservoir of information and evidence to support your claims. This evidence-based approach is fundamental in academic writing, where assertions must be backed by credible data and sources. In fast-evolving fields, staying current is crucial. Detailed reading of recent journal articles, books, and conference papers ensures that you are aware of the latest developments in methodologies. This awareness can significantly influence the relevance and impact of your article. Exposure to a variety of writing styles and scholarly discourses improves your own writing skills. You can adopt best practices, avoid common pitfalls, and learn how to communicate complex ideas clearly and effectively. Here are some tips as practical steps for effective reading. Define what you need to know and identify key texts that cover these areas. Jot down important points, questions, and insights as you read. Go back over key texts to reinforce your understanding and integrate knowledge. Engaging in discussions about your reading can deepen understanding and provide new perspectives. By emphasizing detailed and extensive reading, you can ensure that your writing is not only informed and comprehensive but also engages critically with the topic, enhancing both the quality and credibility of your work. I hope you find today's lecture both enjoyable and educational, offering you valuable insights and knowledge that will aid you in crafting a well-informed paper. This session is tailored to provide you with the necessary tools and understanding required to excel not only in your academic endeavors but also in your future professional roles. As we explore the complexities of the topic, I encourage you to actively participate and absorb as much information as possible. This experience is designed to enhance your skills and broaden your perspectives, which will undoubtedly contribute to your success in upcoming vocations. Let's make the most of this opportunity to learn and grow together, paving the way for a promising and fulfilling career.